I'm George Onofolko. I'm the MD CEO of Coleman Wires and Cable. We're the largest cable company in sub-Saharan Africa. We make wiring cables, power cable transmission, distribution, fiber optics, and also oil and gas specialized cables in country. Primary sources for us were the grid, which is the discos, and diesel generator in the early days. Of course, cost variance were very high. Cost to production was really high as 40-50% of total overhead costs. That didn't literally make long-term business sense to continue to do so. Key thing that motivated us into looking at natural gas really was cost comparative advantage that natural gas cost had over diesel and in terms of running the diesel generators. We took that decision as far back as 2015. We looked at it earlier, but it was more difficult in the early days because cost per megawatt was a lot higher in the early days prior to 2015. And I think by 2015, the cost per megawatts for power in terms of the gas generators were actually coming down to something within reason. And that's when we took the decision to actually take a first plunge on about 2 megawatts. Then later on, within a year or two, we had increased to 7 megawatts of power. If you look at the capex cost of the initial cost of going to gas, it's not cheap. It's way more expensive than diesel generators. But when you look at the long-term cost versus benefit, you find out you're actually far better off taking the hit now and actually make from the savings and the benefit of what differential between your diesel and your gas, you eventually recover your cost on the near term. The entry and barriers to entry were a bit strenuous in the early days. I think things today has changed for the better, which is good, with the introduction of companies like Axela and the rest of them investing in the capex cost of the pipeline. Biggest benefit is always really for anybody that is transiting is really cost reduction. If you look at the cost per unit in kilowatt hours for diesel or power and even the grid combined is not anywhere in comparative analysis to you using gas today. From our cost savings perspective, the cost savings to a business at the initial 2015, 2016 level come to about maybe 2019. I think in terms of power savings, you'll be talking about most likely you're having a 60%, 70% cost savings in a conversion of you moving from your diesel to your gas generators. Gas is a transition energy source. We can't all go green overnight, but it is definitely it's better than whatever you're emitting on your CO2 levels. There's been a lot of operational improvement. If you look at from where we've come from, right, the addition of bringing on gas into the pipeline, putting on gas power has created efficiency for companies like ours who are totally off the grid. And when you're off the grid and you're running your gas generators, you're running non-stop on gas. So the efficiency of the power, the efficiency of use, the efficiency of your production process where you don't have power off and on going on, there's no power cut, there's no transition between the power cut and your automatic startup system of your generators and the gap and the waste generated by each time you're having a power cut in your system is massively taken out of the system and is reduced. So things like that, if you look at those benefits to any business, it's a cost reduction. I would describe the benefit of gas in three words as efficiency, value, and long-term benefits.